Hello and welcome to part 1 of the Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke. So, in part 0, we determined what our team was going to be for the rest of this run, and I just want to take a second to introduce them. So leading our lineup, we have Clone the Mewtwo. Confusion and Psychic will be pretty useful. I'm thinking about running Mewtwo through Brock, since my other team members don't really stand much of a chance. We've got Zip Zap the Zapdos. Those Thundershock and Drill Peck will be great for taking on Misty. Next we got Ash Trotter the Ponyta. I'm thinking of pulling Ponyta out when we start to get closer to fighting Erica. Next up, Topsy Turvy the Kabuto. I see Topsy Turvy being more useful as we get closer to Blaine. Can teach him Bubble Beam, he'll learn Hydro Pump eventually. And we have our last two Pokemon. I don't see these guys being all that useful through our quest for the 8 gym badges. Maybe when the Elite Four comes around, we can train them up to be a active part of the team. Porygon can learn Psybeam and Recover in this generation. Those are, and Tri Attack. Those are kind of his best 3 moves. Again, not a whole lot going on here. We'll get to him later in the game, hopefully. And then Goldilocks. You know, Golbat and Zubat in Gen 1, not that great. They can learn Wing Attack. They got Leech Life, pretty low damage bug move. Like I said, for the most part, especially early game, we're just gonna run Mewtwo all the way up until we get to up to and through Brock. We'll start training Zapdos a little bit here and there in preparation for Misty, the second gym. So the first thing that we'll do, luckily since we don't have to worry about buying Pokeballs, we can go to the Pokemart and stock up on a couple things that might be necessary for our journey. So for example, we might want a couple antidotes, especially for Viridian Forest. We'll take a Paralyze Heal. And I just realized I've still got one thing on. In order to get our team, I just actually turned on a glitch to set the different... Oh, it's good. I can turn off all the cheats right now. The level encounter, the Pokemon we were going to encounter, and I just use Master Balls so as to not waste too much time. Let's make sure that has been turned off. Oh, we might have to actually close the dialogue. Okay, cool. So all the cheats have now been disabled. We've got Paralyzed Heal and an Antidote. Weird that we can't buy potions here. That's quite curious. Guess we'll have to make really good use of those Poke Centers. So, there is a potion up behind this tree right here, which is a great hidden item. I love this item. Always go for it. And I guess the first thing that we'll do is we're going to go left to this area and just do a little bit of training. It would be cool to fight Blue up here, have that first battle with him. Let's swap our moves around a little bit. Use Psychic. So just for verification, I want to see about how long it'll take me to level up. So 90 to level 6. Okay. So this, just to put it in perspective, so that was 90, and then we got, what, 24 experience from the first battle. So to put that in perspective, the starters, when you fight Blue in the beginning, yield 67 experience at level 5, and your starter levels up. So Mewtwo takes somewhere close to, 1.75 times and 2 times the amount of experience for that first level up. I'm not sure if it's consistently a factor of that, 1.75 to 2, but definitely a slow level upper. Since Mewtwo, such a powerful Pokemon with pretty darn good stats, I don't feel too worried about taking on Blue with our team. Maybe I could just level up Mewtwo and Zapdos 1 level each, and then we could take on Blue. I mean, these are legendaries, and Blue might have some level 8s and 9s, but nothing to worry about. In fact, so I chose Charmander for the starter, and Charmander has since been released, but I suppose it makes more sense to use Zapdos, Zip-Zap, against Blue. We're going to give him a level up too, because I think at this stage Blue's going to have a Sparrow and a Squirtle, since we chose Charmander as our starter. I don't think he's going to have a third Pokemon. Of course, one thing we'll have to be careful about in this game, just like in Pokemon Gold, is being very careful when we are learning new moves or applying TMs, because if we click A too quickly, we are going to accidentally overwrite moves that might be very useful. If you watched the first playthrough I did of Pokemon Gold, you'll know that pretty early on I overwrote a Pichu's Thunder Shock with Sweet Kiss. And of course that Pichu didn't learn any new electric moves until it evolved into Pikachu around level 26, at which point it learns Thunderbolt. But that was quite a long time where Pichu actually at that point had no physical damaging moves. So I used a combination of Sweet Kiss and Tail Whip and Thunder Wave, I believe, to deal with enemies, and it was just kind of a slow grind. One or two more battles here should get Zip-Zap a level up, and from that point I think we'll be ready to face Blue. There it is. So Zapdos doesn't learn any new moves, I believe, until level 51, at which point it will learn Thunder. I think that's right. So we're gonna have Thunder Shock, Intro Bug, which are two great moves, don't get me wrong, to start out with, and that's gonna have to carry us for the next 45 levels. Yeah, this battle can take you by surprise, because from the time you get your starter, he's got a level 9 Pidgey and I think a level 11... Oh, nice. And a level 11 starter. Okay, I don't love Sand Attack. No, we're gonna stay in here. I think Squirtle's got a cute little... Oh, okay, only level 8. Never mind. I think, yeah, Squirtle's got a cute little sprite. He looks so happy. Nice. I love how so many trainers in this game, when you beat them, attribute your success to luck. there's just no conceding that you're a better trainer or that your Pokemon were stronger. You always got lucky, especially with your rival battles. It's a bit of a superiority complex, isn't there? Did we take any damage? We didn't take any damage. In that case, we're gonna go right up to... Oh, I guess we don't have to... I guess we don't have to do the catching tutorial. We're gonna skip that. There's no need to do that on camera. So yeah, since our Pokemon are pretty freaking strong, maybe... So here's an idea. Maybe it makes sense to level up some other members of our team that aren't going to see much play till later. For example, maybe it makes sense to level up Goldilocks a little bit. Or maybe not. I mean, Clone's going to need to be probably at least level 10 by the time we face Brock. I'm worried about his Onix knowing Bide, but I suppose I could stall that by just spamming Disable when he's using Bide. It's going to be interesting to play in Nuzlocke where we just end up selling the Pokeballs. So of course, if I need to do, or if I feel the need to do any level grinding, I can always do that off screen. Oops. And for now, I'll just go through the required trainer battles as well as any encounters we get through areas that we have to walk through. Yeah, we're absolutely gonna destroy these poor early trainers. You know that these guys came out here with Professor Oak, and Professor Oak helped them catch, like, yeah, a Weedle and a Caterpie, or whatever their starter was, and we're out here pulling up with a legendary Pokemon that theoretically only one exists in the world. It's also strong as fuck. Also has type advantage. The nice thing is that fighting these Kakuna isn't going to be as frustrating as it usually is. Fighting Metapod and Kakuna in the Viridian Forest is often frustrating because, especially even if you choose a Charmander, you don't have a fire move until... I'm not sure what level Charmander learns a fire move, but I don't think you get one all that early. Maybe level 7, but maybe not. I just remember having to sit through turns and turns of Harden, slowly whittling Kakuna and Metapod down with Scratch. While we're walking through Viridian Forest, I'll go ahead and check on the level that Charmander learns Ember. Okay, so it is level 9. So it's possible that I'm maybe approaching level 9 usually by the time I get to the end of Viridian Forest. That seems about right. Wow, what is with this this low encounter rate? That's absolutely insane. Doesn't look like we're gonna need the 2 antidotes we bought. We got one from the forest. Picked up a potion, that's nice. We got another potion right here, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, even though the legendary Pokemon do level up a lot slower, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a bit counterbalanced by the fact that we won't have to grind them as much. I mean, the stats of Mewtwo are just insane. So why don't we do this? We still haven't taken any damage, but let's pick up some potions, and we'll sell that one Pokeball we picked up. Yes, we would like to buy... Is there anything else we can get? It will be useful to have a couple awakenings. Sleep in this game is pretty frustrating to deal with. We won't need an escape rope, I don't think. Got a pretty full team. Just buy as many potions as we can. So I'll tell you what else I thought about doing. I thought about, as we get later into the game, boxing up a couple. We're going to train Mewtwo maybe one more level before we start taking on the gym. Boxing up a couple of our Pokemon that we're going to save. So, for example, like Topsy-Turvy, Infinity, Goldilocks, whatever. We don't want to be a point where our Pokemon like Clone and Zip Zap are so much higher leveled. 130, okay. Are so much higher leveled that if we get Roared or Whirlwind, we're going to send out, you know, a level 5. And yeah, we could switch out. I just am worried about having very weak Pokemon on our team, in addition to having, like, being late in the game, because that's a chance that they could die, and there's no chance of replacing them. So in the unlikely event that they get dragged out and somehow die, I'd prefer to just avoid that situation. So at a certain point, maybe once we hit, like, the early teens, we're probably going to box up the Pokemon that we're just not using right now, to avoid any kind of issues like that. However, it did occur to me that we might want to keep the Pokemon that we think is going to be the least useful in the event that there is a dire situation. And we feel that if we don't send out a Pokemon to take, you know, a hit, that we're going to lose one of our best. So a situation I could see happening is, you know, we get hit with a Hyper Beam, we're out of potions, the opponent takes a turn to recharge. While they're recharging, we switch out into our other Pokemon, and or hell, even if we had one potion left, we switch out, we heal up. The next turn, that Pokemon will take the hit, it dies, but then the opponent is recharging, so we get a free hit on, and you know, that, again, it's maybe a contrived or unlikely scenario, but anything could come up. That's the difference between... Nice. That's the difference between life or death. Nuzlocke, make sure to really push your boundaries in that way. Things that you... Not sure that they don't happen, but you just really don't expect them to happen. Will happen when you're playing this sort of life or death, everything is on the line type of play style. Okay, we're going to heal up Clone's PP, and then we're going to start taking on some of the trainers in Brock's gym. Generation 1 games are definitely games where you have to be grinding pretty hard a lot of the time. I mean, Brock sends out, what, a level... Is it a level 14? Onyx? And you know, if you're playing yellow, and you've got, you know, what would you have? You'd have a Pikachu. You might catch a Nidoran to learn Double Kick, and you might catch Sandshrew. Yeah, we're gonna stay in. You might catch a Caterpie and evolve it to Butterfree to learn Confusion. But if your Butterfree doesn't, or you know, if you don't have a Butterfree with Confusion, and you don't have, that's what, at level 11 or 10, and then you don't have a Nidoran that evolves into like a Nidorino or Nidorina. That's at level 16 that learns Double Kick, I believe. I mean, or maybe it's earlier. I can't remember if it learns Double Kick before it evolves. Either way, that's a tall order. So I don't think we're ready to face Brock. My gut says we'd be fine. I would like to level up at least once more. I don't want to do a ton of over leveling. I like the challenging like aspect or the uncertainty, especially early on in the game. I mean, if it's gonna end, I'd rather it end early than later, right? Unless the end is the credits. So we'll maybe spend the next few minutes just doing a couple random encounters, trying to level up a little bit. If I was a more experienced video editor and had the patience to piece something together and re-render it with new audio, what I'd probably do here for the last couple minutes is speed up the gameplay and throw on some kind of montage music while we trained for our battle against Brock. But I am no such person. Just curious how much EXP we have to go. 207. So should that be like seven more battles? 6 more battles? A lot more than 6 or 7 if we're only going to get 22 experience. Okay, so we're averaging between like what, 22 and 24 experience per battle. So that puts us if we average 23 per battle, that puts us at exactly 9 to the level up since we checked on that 207 mark. So this is the 4th or 5th one right here. Yes, it is a slow grind, my friends. Guess the AC kicked on. I think you can hear that in the microphone. Been a hot couple days here in North Carolina. You can tell the AC is really chugging. Okay, should just be 1 or 2 more battles here, I think. There we go. That's it. So why don't we heal up? And after healing, we'll just go ahead and save and call it a video. In part 2, the next episode, we're going to take on Brock first thing. Hope that clone survives and prospers. And then we'll start heading east to Mount Moon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.